It has become quite a literary commonplace, that to borrow the words of Professor Max Mell in one of his recent lectures, history, in the ordinary sense of the word, is almost unknown in Indian literature. And it is certainly a remarkable irony of fate, that we should be obliged to make this remark on the very threshold of an introduction to the Bhagavad Gita, for according to the eminent French philosopher, cousin to this great deficiency in Sanskrit literature is due, in no inconsiderable measure, to the doctrines propounded in the Bhagavad Gita itself. But however that may be, this much is certain, that the student of the Bhagavad Gita must, for the present, go without that reliable historical information touching the author of the work, the time at which it was composed, and even the place it occupies in literature, which one naturally desires when entering upon the study of any work, more especially in an attempt like the present, intended as it mainly is for students of the history of religion. I should have been better pleased, if I could, in this introduction, have concentrated to a focus, as it were, only those well ascertained historical results, on which there is something like a consensus of opinion among persons qualified to judge. But there is no exaggeration in saying, that it is almost impossible to lay down even a single proposition respecting any important matter connected with the Bhagavad Gita, about which any such consensus can be said to exist. The conclusions arrived at in this introduction must, therefore, be distinctly understood to embody individual opinions only, and must be taken accordingly for what they are worth. The full name of the work is Bhagavad Gita. In common parlance, we often abbreviate the name into Gita, and in Sanskrit literature the name occurs in both forms. In the works of Sankaracharya, quotations from the Gita are introduced, sometimes with the words in the Gita, or in the Bhagavad Gita, and sometimes with words which may be rendered in the Gitas, the plural form being used one. In the colophons to the MSS of the work, the form current, apparently throughout India, is, in the Upanishads sung Gitas by the deity. Sankaracharya, indeed, sometimes calls it the Svara Gita too, which, I believe, is the specific title of a different work altogether. The signification, however, of the two names is identical, namely, the song sung by the deity, or, as Wilkins translates it, the divine lay. This divine lay forms part of the Bhishma Pardhan of the Mahabharata, one of the two well-known national epics of India. The Gita gives its name to a subdivision of the Bhishma Pardhan, which is called the Bhagavad Gita Pardhan, and which includes, in addition to the 18 chapters of which the Gita consists, 12 other chapters. Upon this the question has naturally arisen: is the Gita a genuine portion of the Mahabharata, or is it a later addition? The question is one of considerable difficulty. But I cannot help saying, that the manner in which it has been generally dealt with is not altogether satisfactory to my mind. Before going any further into that question, however, it is desirable to state some of the facts on which the decision must be based. It appears, then, that the royal family of Hastinapura was divided into two branches, the one called the Kauravas, and the other the Pandavas.